Let's talk about fear, that sneaky saboteur that keeps you stuck. Fear of failure is real, and it whispers in your ear. What if you mess up? What if you're not good enough? That fear triggers your brain to protect you. It screams, avoidance. That's the answer. But here's the secret. Perfection is a myth. It's a dangerous illusion that keeps you frozen in place. So, ditch the pursuit of perfect and embrace the power of progress. Tell yourself, it's okay to make mistakes. I can always revise. Remember, every successful person you admire has a trail of failures behind them. They learned, they adapted, and they kept going. Turn those what if I fail questions into what will I learn. Failure isn't the enemy. It's your greatest teacher. Raise your hand if this sounds familiar. You have a project due, but you can't even start because you're paralyzed by the need for it to be absolutely perfect. Newsflash: perfectionism is procrastination in disguise. It sets you up for a never-ending cycle of starting, stopping, and feeling like you're not good enough. So how do we break free from the perfectionism trap? It's simple. Embrace the good enough rule. Give yourself permission to do a solid job, not a flawless one. Remember, done is better than perfect. Set realistic time limits for your tasks. Instead of agonizing over every detail, commit to a time frame and stick to it. Think of it this way. Would you rather have a beautifully written first draft that never sees the light of day, or a finished project that's out in the world, making a difference? You got this. Okay, let's talk about that feeling of being totally overwhelmed. You know, when you have a task on your plate and it just seems massive and confusing? That's classic lack of clarity. The problem isn't you. It's that the task seems too big to even start. The key here is to break those monster tasks down into bite-sized pieces. Think of it like climbing a mountain. You wouldn't try to scale the whole thing in one leap, would you? Instead, you'd map out a trail, focusing on each step, each marker along the way. That's what we're going to do with your to-do list. Use those SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, instead of write a report, which honestly makes my skin crawl just thinking about it, try outline 3 key points for the report in the next 30 minutes. See? Totally doable, and it gets you moving. Let's be honest, sometimes the tasks we're avoiding just don't spark joy, right? You'd rather binge watch that show, scroll through social media, anything but that boring chore or work project. Low motivation is a real procrastination trigger. But I've got a little secret weapon: micro rewards. Think of it as bribing yourself to success. And hey, it works. Promise yourself a small treat after completing a chunk of work. Maybe it's a 15-minute dance break, a delicious cup of coffee, or 5 minutes of guilt-free scrolling. Whatever works for you. The key is to connect a little bit of pleasure to the task. And remember the why. Why are you doing this in the first place? Will it help you reach a bigger goal, reduce stress, or make someone else's life easier? Focusing on the positive impact can be a powerful motivator. We live in a world of constant distractions. Our phones are blowing up, emails are flooding in, and social media is calling our name. It's like our brains are wired to get sidetracked. But here's the deal. You are in control. You have the power to create a distraction-free zone. And no, you don't have to move to a deserted island to do it. Start by identifying your biggest distractions. Is it your phone? Put it in another room or use an app blocker. Is it social media? Log out completely during your work sessions. Remember, you get to decide how you spend your time and energy. Time blocking is another game changer. Schedule specific periods for focused work and breaks. And during those work blocks, eliminate all distractions. Close unnecessary tabs. Silence your phone and tell your family or roommates that you're in the zone. You've got this. All right, let's talk about overplanning. It's something many of us struggle with daily. You know that feeling, right? The one where your mind is racing with a million thoughts. You want to start a project, but you get stuck in planning mode. You keep thinking about every possible detail. You research endlessly, create elaborate to-do lists, and suddenly, hours have gone by, and you haven't even begun the actual work. Sound familiar? Listen, you're not alone. Many people face this issue. Overplanning is a sneaky form of procrastination. It feels like you're preparing, but you're just delaying. It tricks you into feeling productive when you're actually just delaying the inevitable. It's a false sense of accomplishment. So, how do we break free from this overthinking trap? It's simpler than you might think. Here's my advice. Embrace the 70% rule. This rule can change your approach to tasks. This rule is a game changer. It helps you get started without feeling the need to be perfect. It simply states that if you feel 70% ready to start something, you are ready. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for that elusive 100%. Because let's be honest, it rarely arrives. Perfection is an illusion. Instead of aiming for perfection from the get-go, allow yourself to dive in and adjust as you go. Remember, action creates momentum. Start now and refine later. The more you act, the more you learn, and the closer you get to your goals. Each step forward is progress. So set that timer for 10 minutes. Jot down some basic steps and get moving. You'll be amazed at what you can accomplish. Let's be real. Sometimes we procrastinate because the task at hand just plain sucks. It's boring, unpleasant, or maybe even a little bit scary. We'd rather do anything else. Laundry, dishes, even stare blankly at the wall. This, my friends, is called task aversion. But here's the secret. You don't have to love the task. You just have to start it. And that's where the 5-minute rule comes in. This rule is deceptively simple. But trust me, it works. Tell yourself, you're only going to work on the dreaded task for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, that's it. You can handle anything for 5 minutes, right? Here's the cool part. More often than not, once you've overcome that initial resistance of starting, you'll find yourself wanting to continue. The momentum builds, and suddenly, that insurmountable task feels manageable. So the next time you're facing a chore you'd rather avoid, set that timer for 5 minutes and just start. You might surprise yourself with what you can accomplish. Let's talk about time management, or should I say, the lack thereof. In today's fast-paced world, managing time effectively is more crucial than ever. We've all been there, feeling overwhelmed by a never-ending to-do list, unsure of where to even begin. It's a common struggle that can leave us feeling paralyzed. The key to conquering this chaos is simple: prioritization. By focusing on what truly matters, you can cut through the noise and make real progress. And no, I'm not talking about just making another list. Lists can be helpful, but they often become just another source of stress. I'm talking about the Eisenhower Matrix, a powerful tool that will change the way you approach your tasks. It's a game changer for effective time management. Here's how it works. Divide your tasks into 4 quadrants: urgent and important, important but not urgent, urgent but not important, and neither urgent nor important. This categorization helps you see your tasks in a new light. This simple visual helps you identify what truly deserves your immediate attention and what can be delegated, scheduled for later, or even eliminated altogether. It's about working smarter, not harder. Once you've got your priorities straight, it's time to get real about your time. Understanding your time usage is the next crucial step. Start tracking how long tasks actually take you. This can be an eye-opening exercise. You might be surprised to realize that checking emails eats up way more time than you thought, often without you even noticing, or that writing that report actually goes faster when you eliminate distractions. Focus is key to efficiency. Understanding where your time goes is crucial to reclaiming control of your schedule. It's about making informed decisions. So grab a timer, get to analyzing, and watch your productivity soar. With these strategies, you'll be mastering your time in no time. You know that feeling, right? The one where you have a task to do, but you just can't bring yourself to start it. You put something off, and then you beat yourself up about it. The guilt starts to build up. You tell yourself you're lazy, undisciplined, not good enough. These thoughts weigh you down. And you know what that does? It creates a mental block. It makes you want to avoid the task even more. You find distractions to escape the discomfort. That, my friend, is the procrastination cycle in full effect. But here's the truth. You are not your procrastination. It's not who you are. It's a habit, a pattern, and like any habit, you can break it. It takes effort, but it's possible. The first step is to stop the negative self-talk. Be kind to yourself. That voice in your head telling you you're a failure, it's lying. Shut it down. Right now. Instead, practice self-compassion. Talk to yourself like you would a friend who's struggling. Offer yourself the same kindness. It's okay to say, hey, I messed up, but tomorrow is a new day, a fresh start. Because guess what? It is. Every day is a new opportunity. Every single day is a fresh start, a chance to make different choices. So ditch the guilt, ditch the shame, and ditch the self-judgment. Embrace the new day. Focus on what you can control, which is this moment right now. Choose to start fresh. Choose to take action. Make the decision to move forward. Choose to break the cycle. You have the power to change. Let's face it, we're all human. We love the thrill of setting big goals, but sometimes that initial burst of motivation fizzles out. That's where accountability comes in. See, when you have someone or something holding you responsible, you're way more likely to follow through. Think about it. Have you ever trained for a race with a running buddy? Or joined a group fitness class? Having that external support system makes a world of difference. It's much harder to hit the snooze button when you know your workout partner is waiting for you. So how do you build accountability into your life? It's simpler than you think. Find an accountability partner, someone you trust to share your goals with, and who will check in on your progress. This could be a friend, family member, coach, or mentor. And here's another tip. Set deadlines. Even self-imposed deadlines create a sense of urgency. Write them down. Put them in your calendar. Make them real. Remember, accountability is about taking responsibility and setting yourself up for success. You've made it. You now have a toolkit full of strategies to defeat procrastination and finally achieve your goals. We've talked about fear, perfectionism, distractions, the whole shebang. But here's the thing. Knowledge without action is useless. You've got to take action. Pick one strategy that resonated with you, just one, and commit to trying it today. Don't overthink it. Start small. Set a timer for 5 minutes and work on that task you've been avoiding. Break down a big project into tiny steps. Just start. And you know what? Tell someone about it. Share your commitment in the comments below or with a friend. Having that external support can make all the difference. This is your year. This is your moment. No more excuses. What's your first step going to be?